Hi students, welcome back in English grammar class. Today we will discuss our first tense, that is present tense. As we have already discussed that in present tense we have these four possible types: present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. We would discuss them one by one. Let's first discuss present indefinite tense, which can also be called simple present tense. Present indefinite tense. The simple present is used to describe an action, an event, or condition that is occurring in the present at the moment of speaking or writing. Here they are saying that simple present tense, we used it only for those actions or event or condition that are occurring now at the present moment. Whenever we are speaking, so that actions, those conditions, those events, they are just happen at the same moment. For example, I play, he or she plays. So here you can see that these actions, the playing action is happening at the same moment of the speaking or of the writing. That's why we use simple present tense for it. Look at these pictures. In the very first picture, the person is working on a laptop, so here you can see he is working at the same time. That's why we use simple present tense for it. In the next, another person is eating, so we would use present tense for it. In another picture, a boy is playing, and then the person is sleeping. So here you can see that all these actions are happening now. That's why we would use simple present tense for it. Now we have some condition in which the uses of present tense are important for us. Like here you can see in condition 1, it is used for regular habits or daily routine. Use the simple present to express the idea that an action is repeated or usual. We use it for such type of sentences, such type of actions, or such type of events which are happen daily in our life. Like whenever, like as we are going to school daily, we brush our teeth daily. So for all these type of sentences, we use simple present tense. Like here you can see the action can be a habit. Like obviously it become our habit whenever we are doing something at regular interval. A hobby, it may be a hobby. A hobby mean something which you do in your free time, which you like to do in your free time. So that would be also in present tense, simple present tense. A daily event or something that often happens, something which happen daily. Like as I have told you, we wake up daily, we take our breakfast daily, or something that often happens. So we use simple present tense for all of them. Like in examples you can see, I play snooker. So here you can see that a person who is playing it would say that I play. They would use simple present tense for it. The school opens every morning at 7 a.m. So here again you can see, as it is a habitual action, or it happens daily, that the school opens every morning at 7 a.m. He always forgets her bag. So here again you can see, it's not important that daily he forgets her bag, but still we are saying he always forgets her bag. So here you can see that it happen, like it happens at regular intervals at times. So we use the simple present tense for it. Every 12 months the earth circles the sun. Again, here it is an example of a universal truth sentence as well, but here you can see that it also happens after 12 months, but still it is a habitual action, still it happens. That's why we uses simple present tense for it. Here you can see that it doesn't happen daily. Every 12 months, after every 12 months it happened, the earth circles the sun, but still we use simple present tense for it because it is a habitual act, it happens. That's why we use simple present tense for it. Facts are generalization. Simple present tense can be used for fact or generalization. The simple present can also indicate the speaker believes that a fact was true before, is true now, and will be true in the future. It is not important if the speaker is correct about the fact. It is also used to make generalization about people or things. As I have already told you about universal truth sentences, so here they are discussing that something which are fact, the speaker believes that it is a fact, it is true, it was true before and it is true now and it will be true in the future. As I told you that let's suppose if we say that water boils to form vapors, so here you can see that everywhere in the world, and it is a truth, it is a fact that water would boil and what would happen, it would evaporate or vapors would be happen. That's why we use simple present tense for such type of facts. It is also used to make generalization about people or things. It can also be used whenever we are suggesting someone that the person is like this, or we are just generalizing. We are generally saying something about all the whole category, not a particular person. Like when we say that, let's suppose if we say that all the children are naughty, so it's not necessary that all the children would be naughty, but we uses a simple present tense for it because we are generalizing. We are just giving a general fact about different children. Examples you can see: cats like milk. So here, everywhere in the world, it is acceptable that cats like milk. Caracas is the capital of Venezuela. So here it is also acceptable because it is the capital of that country. Windows are not made of wood. So here it is a generalization that mostly windows are not made of wood. So all these are examples of simple present tense. In another case, we used it for scheduled events in the near future, like something which is going to be happen in the near future, but we would use it in our daily routine. Like here you can see speakers occasionally use simple present to talk about scheduled events in the near future, something which is going to be happening tomorrow, let's suppose, or day after tomorrow in the near future. This is most commonly done when talking about public transportation, but it can be used with other scheduled events as well. Mostly it is used for public transportation. Like here in examples you can see the bus leaves tonight at 6 p.m. When do we board the plane? The party starts at 8 o'clock. So here the bus leaves tonight at 6 p.m. It would happen tonight. It is still not, like it is not, we are not talking about last night, we are talking about tonight. So tonight is yet to come, but it is a sentence of near future, and that's why we use simple present tense for it, because it is a scheduled event that the bus would leave at 6 p.m. So that's why we use simple present tense for it. Here we have some examples of adverbs, that how we use adverbs in simple present tense. I always come to school by car. I don't come here very often. He usually eats breakfast at 7 a.m. Sometimes I go to party. She rarely cooks. He is never late for class every day. So here a list of adverbs are given, that how we use different adverbs which are also used for habitual actions in simple present tense. We have some rules, grammar rules, how to form simple present tense. To form the simple present, we add s to the infinitive of the verb in the third person singular he, she, it. With third person singular he, she, it, we added s or es to the main verb or the first form of verb. Like here you can see I live, I sing, but whenever we would say that he lives, she lives, it lives, he sings, she sings, it sings. So in all these three cases or four cases, like we have a singular person, whenever we are talking about a singular person, we use SRES with the verb. We added SRES to the verb. Let's here discuss when the verb ends in SRES, like where we use S and where we use ES with it. Where the verb ends in O, double S, SH, CH or X, we add ES. whenever any verb when its spelling ends with o, double s, sh, ch or x, we added es to it. Like here in examples you can see I go. So here he, she, it goes. We would add es with go. Why? Because it's end with o. Then again you can see I kiss. So with kisses we have add es. Why? Because it is ending with double s. Then I watch, we add es because it is ending with ch. I wash, again we have added es. And I fix, so here again we have uses es with it. A consonant followed by y, the y changes into ie and we add s with it. Here again they are telling you about another rule, that whenever any verb ends with y, so we change that y into I and we add es with it. Like here you can see I study, he or she studies. Whenever any consonant is followed by y, so then we use mm, I instead of y and we add es with it. A vowel followed by y, we just add s. But whenever a vowel is followed by y, so then we use just s with it. Like here you can see I play, so here before y it is vowel, so we use s at the end of it. We added just s to it. To form the negative and the interrogative, we need the auxiliary verb to do. In the present simple, this means we have to add es in the third person singular, he, she, it, while the main verb will be used in the infinitive. In negative sentences and in interrogative sentences, we have two helping verbs, do or does. So whenever we are changing positive sentences or whenever we are using negative or interrogative sentences in simple present tense, so the rules changed and we got a helping verb. Like in simple sentences we were not having any helping verb. I play, I hit, there was no helping verb in it. But whenever we uses it in negative or interrogative sentences, this simple present tense, so we got two helping verbs, do or does. So here you can see whenever we didn't use s or es, like with I, we, you, they are plural nouns, so we use do with it. Like here in example you can see do I like, do you like, do they like. Or in interrogative, I don't like, you don't like, they don't like, so we use do as a helping verb in this case. And whenever we are using es, like with he, she, it and singular noun, we use es. So then the helping verb does would be used. Like here you can see does she like, does he like, does it like. Or in negative, she does not like, he does not like, it does not like. So we have these two helping verbs, do or does, in negative and interrogative sentences of simple present tense, while in simple sentences, assertive sentences, positive sentences, we don't have any helping verb. So when did we use do? Whenever we are not using s or es in simple sentences and positive sentences, so we use do with it. Like with I, we, you, they in plural noun we would use do, but with she, he, it and singular noun we would use does. Here a structure of affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences are given. Like in simple sentences are affirmative, positive sentences, the structure is subject plus verb. With verb we would use e or es to the third, plus complement. Complement is something like a part of a sentence about which something is being happened, something is being discussed about subject. Like whenever a statement is given about the subject, so we call it complement. Complement tells us something about subject, so the remaining part of sentence is there then. In negative, its structure is subject plus auxiliary. Auxiliary mean helping verb, which are do or does, plus not plus verb plus complement. In interrogative, we have auxiliaries do or does, it came to the start of the sentence, then plus subject plus verb plus complement, and at the end we are having question mark. So it is the structure of interrogative sentences. Here we have some examples of affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences. I live, I don't live, do I live, you live, you don't live, do you live, he lives, he does not live, Does he live? So here you can see with he, she, it we have used s. We have added s to it, and in negative interrogative the helping verb is does there. She lives, she doesn't live. Does she live? It lives, it doesn't live. Does it live? Then we have, like here you can see again we have we, you, they, so we didn't use any SRES with it. We live, we don't live. Do we live? And again the helping verb do is used here. You live, you don't live. Do you live? They live, they don't live. Do they live? Hope this lecture will be clear to you. And your homework for today is that you have to write 5 affirmative, 5 negative and 5 interrogative sentences. In the same way you have to make a chart of it and you have to write these sentences in it. See you in my next class.